Alright, we're back at it. Still printing the back foot for the Ace top mount for the Kobra 3. And then over here I'm trying a new color combination for the $50 deburring buddy. We've got this nice blue, white text. I think it's going to look superb. But yeah, we're just going to show off the A1 Mini combo and the Kobra 3 combo on this live. If you guys have any questions about them, feel free to put them in the chat. And if you'd like to get yourself one, you can tap a little shopping area down here. How's it going, everybody? Tap the little shopping area. Check out the printers I've got listed down there. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. These are all pretty greatly priced right now, at least $100 off all those printers. Some of them are up to $250 off right now. But yeah, if you have any specific questions, feel free to put them in the chat. If you'd like to get a cool 3D printer or some filament, tap down here and get you something. So I can't quite print you a girlfriend, but it can totally print like gifts for that girl you're interested in. Like you can print pretty little roses and, you know, kind of get your foot in the door. My wife loves it. She has me print her cool stuff all the time. Yeah, dude, it's pretty cool. They're both pretty cool. I've got the Kobra 3 and the A1 Mini, and I really like both of them. Which one do you have? What kind of printer are you printing with? Bamboo PS1, very nice. Yeah, I've been eyeballing that printer. It's pretty solid. Nice enclosure, about half the price of an X1 Carbon. What do you mean stuffs? What does that mean? 13 stuffs? It does not come with filament, but I do have some listed down here. If you get 4 or more spools of the basic or matte bamboo filament, they're 20% off. And you should get free shipping as well. And it comes with about 10 meters of filament, just a little plastic, or a little sample spool. Not very much. You'll definitely want to order some filament separately. If anybody has any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. If you'd like to get a cool printer, tap the little shopping area down here. Thanks for watching. Yeah, when you buy 4 or more spools of filament that are either the basic PLA from Bamboo or the matte PLA from Bamboo, they're 20% off. And I've got those linked down here. Let's see. I worked on my list a little bit. It's number 7 and number 8. So silk PLA is a mixture of PLA and TPU. It's got kind of a glossy feel to it. I haven't worked with it yet myself. I do have some coming in the mail to experiment with. Mostly I've seen people have issues with stringing with silk PLA. It's kind of a difficult filament to get like the settings locked in right for, is what I'm saying. So I wouldn't suggest starting out with silk PLA. For anybody who was here earlier, this is the finished air pressure tank we printed. Came out super cute. And you push down on the top and it pushes this bullet out. Pretty cool. Found that on Maker World this morning. Printed that on the A1 Mini. Took about 4 hours. My youngest kid saw it and he was like, yeah, we're gonna print that today for sure. Start it now. So he'll be stoked to play with that later. Again, guys, if you have any questions about these printers, feel free to ask. If you've been in the market for a 3D printer looking for one, these are all good options for beginners. And if you've worked with a printer before, you'll absolutely love them because they're pretty much plug and play, which I've never really seen before. So it's really nice to actually see 3D printers that the average person can use and get really nice results out of. They're both very fast machines. I like them a lot. We got the Kobra 3 combo and the A1 Mini combo we're showing off right now. It's the A1 Mini in the back there. Need to try and bring it a little closer. I like it too. If you'd like to get one, there's a link for it down here. This is called the Kobra 3 combo. It's got a build plate of 250 by 250 by 260. If you get the combo, it comes with the ACE unit that lets you print with up to 4 different colors, and this has a built-in filament dryer. It's really, really handy if you're working with PETG or glow-in-the-dark filament. So it's pretty great. Sorry to hear that, bro. I've had a few printers die on me. It's never a fun day. I've been 3D printing for like 15 years, so I've been through my fair share of machines. I haven't done this yet on the Kobra 3, but I think I might risk it. This is a pretty large part, and you are able to change the print speed while it's printing. So I'm going to knock it up to sport mode and see if that affects the print quality. I think this part is big enough that it should be okay. Hopefully it doesn't ruin this print because it's a good 5-hour print. 4.5, something like that. But yeah, we'll kick up the print speed on this and see how it does. Yeah, it'll make it a bit faster. You can see it kicking it into sport mode now. They're both pretty fast. The A1 Mini is printing something much smaller, so that'll probably finish first. It's about an hour-long print, whereas this is about a 5-hour print. So that'll probably finish first. It's about an hour-long print, whereas this is about a 5-hour print. Got the phone charged, yes sir. We also finished the tank. Isn't it cute? So it depends on the plastic you use. Most like beginner 3D printers start with PLA. That's what I'm printing here. It's not the most temperature resistant or durable plastic you can print with though. If you want to start like right off the bat with like super tough 3D prints, I would suggest getting a printer with an enclosure and printing with ABS. That's typically what like car door handles are made out of when they're plastic, or like Legos. It's pretty tough stuff, but you do need an enclosure to print with that type of material. P1S is a really good option for that. If you want like top of the line, you could go for the X1 Carbon. I've got both of those linked down here if you want to take a closer look. And if you have any other questions, please let me know. again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. How long does it take to make that one? The initial print estimate for this was 5 hours. I just kicked it up into sport mode, and it was 4.5 hours in. And so going into sports mode, shaved about half an hour off the print time. It's got 2 hours left. But it's gonna be pretty tall by the time it's done. It's a pretty big piece. If you're enjoying the live, make sure to tap the screen a couple times, hit that follow button. If you have any questions about these printers, feel free to ask. They're all very beginner friendly and pretty budget friendly as well. If you'd like to get into multicolored printing, almost every printer I have down here is multicolor capable, and they're all at least $100 off. So go take a look, and thanks for watching. Yeah, they're really easy to use. I've been super impressed with the ease of use of both of these machines. So if you tap the shopping bag down here, you can see the prices of each one of these. The cheapest one is going to be this one. This is the A1 Mini. You can get just the printer for $199. You can get the printer and the AMS combo for $350. This is the Anycubic Kobra 3. You can get this printer for $299 and the combo for $429. There's a couple other printers down there as well. The A1, the P1S, the P1P, and the X1 Carbon. Those are all bamboo printers, and they're all marked down right now for their Black Friday sale. So if you're in the market for one, now's a good time to pick one up. There are like carbon fiber, there's like carbon fiber PLA and carbon fiber PETG that have like bits of carbon fiber in them. And if you get like a hardened nozzle, you can print with it. I don't think it's quite as effective as like strands of carbon fiber within the print, and that's not quite what these printers can do. There are printers that can do that, but they are much more expensive. Now, for the most part, these printers, the open-bodied ones, can handle PLA, PETG, and TPU. The closed ones can also print with those and ABS, ASA, and nylon, and a couple other things. So if you want like a wider range of plastics you can use, I would suggest getting something that has an enclosure, like the P1S or the X1 Carbon. So there's a couple options on how to print with these machines. The easiest one is just to plug a USB into it that has the sliced file you want to print. You can also use the mobile app For Anycubic, that's just called the Anycubic mobile app. For Bamboo, their mobile app is called the Handy app. They're both free to download, and you can pull pre-sliced files from the internet and send them right to your machine really easily. You can also slice files on your computer using the Anycubic slicer or Bamboo Studio for Bamboos. Those are both free to download and pretty easy to figure out how to use. You basically pull your 3D file into that slicer program. It's going to cut it into layers that the printer can understand. Then you send that slice file to your printer and it prints it. It's pretty straightforward once you get the hang of it. There are touchscreens on here that you can interact with the USB drives with. But for the most part, people usually use the app or their computer. I'm old school, so I do it all 3 ways. But yeah, if you'd like to get one, tap the little shopping bag down here. If you need any filament, I've got some listed down there as well. I have some examples of pieces I can show. So this I printed on the A1 Mini earlier today. This is a functional air pressure cannon. You push down on the top really hard and it shoots this pellet out. It's pretty cute. As far as what I printed on the Kobra 3, I printed this really big piece here. And these like arm pieces. So these all go together. There's quite a few pieces for it, but it's a mount to hold this ACE unit on top of the printer to reduce the footprint of it a bit. That's also what this is. This is like a third leg. It's gonna go like right here and hold this up. But yeah, really good print quality on Bamboo and the Kobra 3. I've been really impressed with these bad boys. And like I said, it's not hard to get started printing on these. They're pretty much plug and play, which a lot of 3D printers have advertised in the past. But these actually, like, you can actually plug them in and play with them. I'm from Texas. Plastic material, yeah, they can handle PLA, PETG, and TPU. If you want to print with other plastics, I would recommend getting something with an enclosure, like a P1S or an X1 carbon. And I've got those linked down here. I have not used the crosshatch infill. I'm a big fan of gyroid. That's what I'm using on both of these. I don't know if this will move out of the way so you can see it, but gyroid's really nice. I like it a lot. 15% gyroid is pretty good. Yeah, usually a kilogram of filament costs about $20 to $25. I've got a couple of them linked down here if you'd like to get some. If you get 4 or more spools of basic or matte bamboo PLA, they're 20% off. It's a pretty good deal. That's usually what I've done. Is I've come on TikTok Shop and bought 4 of them and saved 20%. I think shipping's free on it too. They may have changed that. Again, if you'd like to get a 3D printer, go through here. I do earn a small commission if you buy one. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks for watching. Pretty cool glow-in-the-dark skull I did. Printed this little tank earlier today. Let me see. So I usually make everything to order, Apache. So I don't have like a silver quarter coin ring on hand. But this is a 90% silver Morgan dollar. And the main difference you're going to see is on this cut edge right here, where this is nice and silver. On a copper coin, it's going to be this kind of reddish, brownish copper color. Other than that, they're very similar. The silver has a bit of a better shine to it. And the silver quarters I work on are silver proof, so they've never been circulated, so the details are going to be a little sharper than the regular quarter coin ring. They do look very similar. The main difference is going to be that edge right there. Yeah, so this is a tool that I've made myself. It's called the Deburring Buddy. If you want to do like nameplates, it's really not difficult to add text to your 3D prints, especially within the bamboo slicer. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I've added text on my tool, and I think it enhances its usability quite a bit. And you can make coin stands too, for sure. Yeah, the silver is more valuable. Absolutely. If anybody else has any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. If you're in the market for a 3D printer. If anybody else has any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. If you're in the market for a 3D printer, tap down here and get yourself one. How's it going, Double Dude? So you got your eyeball printed yet? I'm curious what color you picked. I've made this eyeball modification pretty popular here on TikTok. Double D just printed one, or he should be printing one soon. It moves around with the extruder. It's pretty great. Yeah. If you want to learn more about that, check out the pinned video on my TikTok profile. If you've got an A1 or an A1 Mini, did the glow in the dark too? Very nice. That's the way to go. Again, every 3D printer I have listed down here is at least $100 off right now on the TikTok shop. If you've been looking for a bamboo 3D printer, now's a good time to get one. The Anycubic Kobra 3 is pretty sweet as well. should be down here. So, comparing the Kobra 3 combo to the A1 combo, they're both very good choices. The A1 combo right now is $489. The Kobra 3 is $429, so it's $70 cheaper. You can also hook up 2 of these Ace units to your Kobra 3 to have a maximum of 8 different colors to print with. With the A1, you are limited to 1 AMS lite, so you can only print with up to 4 colors on that. This also has a built-in filament dryer, which is really great for PETG and glow-in-the-dark filament. Otherwise, if you are using those plastics, you'd have to go buy a filament dryer. And this just has one built into the system, which I think is brilliant. I think this does have a couple things over the A1 Mini. Or the A1, that is. Does the Kobra have a mobile app like Handy? Yes. It's just called the Anycubic app. Anycubic. I'm having trouble pronouncing it. But yeah, they have a mobile app. It's just like the Bamboo Handy app. There's just not as many people using it. Will this do your own designs, and how hard is it to learn a printer? Both of these are pretty much plug and play out of the box. You can probably watch maybe 10 to 15 minutes of tutorial videos just to get accustomed to how they work, but other than that, they do all the heavy lifting for you. They're wonderful machines. Yeah, the Kobra is beginner friendly. Z-banding is a little rough. I do need to tweak it. I've only had this printer like printing for a few days, so these are factory settings. I haven't messed with anything to fix that yet. But you're not wrong. Any suggestions? I can see it too. Yeah, they both work with Wi-Fi. And they also both have a mobile app you can use and a free slicer that you can use on the computer. I think it might just be the belts. Tyler's creator. I think I might just need to tighten the belts. E-step calibration might help. That's a good idea. So with the Kobra 3, right now they only have a 0.4 millimeter brass nozzle for this machine. I am waiting for them to release other nozzles for it. As far as the Bamboo Lab printer goes, these are super easy to change out. You don't need any tools to change the hot end. All you got to do is pop the faceplate off, take the sock off, and then there's a little clip that you undo, and then you can literally pull the hot end out, and it's like magnetic, so the next one will just slip right in there. You close the clip, put the sock on, put the faceplate on, tell the printer what nozzle you put in, and you're good to go. Currently I'm printing with a 0.6 millimeter nozzle on this one. Yeah, I think it's the belts. I haven't tweaked any of the hardware since this came in, so I do think the Y belt is probably a little loose. I haven't yet, but I do plan on trying it. So far with this printer, I've sliced stuff on my computer and then saved it to this little USB drive and then just plugged it in and printed with it. I want to finish this project before I get into anything too deep. Because I want to get the ACE unit off my desk. I really want to mount this up here, and then I'm gonna tune this thing, get it locked in, and really push its limits. I bet. Well, welcome to the 3D printing club, man. Glad to have you. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Yeah, resin printing seems like a freaking hassle. Like, the results are really nice, but there's a lot more work you got to put into it. Yeah, I watched a video, I think it was like 2 days ago, of a guy. He tried to make a mold with his resin 3D printer, and he did a good job like designing it, but like even after it was printed, the mold had like liquid resin in it, so he had to like drill into the mold and drain the resin. And then once he had the mold put together and he poured the stuff into it, he couldn't get the two mold parts apart. Like, oh man, I felt so bad for him, because it was obviously like several hours he put into doing that, and it just didn't work out. It was hard to watch. So when this is finished, it's gonna be like a third leg. So like this is one leg, this is one leg. There'll be a third leg back here, and it's going to be a stand for this part of the printer system. This is called the Ace Pro. It takes up quite a bit of space on my desk, so I'm working on a mount system to put it on top of the printer. No, that makes sense, man. Right on. Yeah, sand casting is still something I haven't dipped my toes into. I've done casting with like molds, but I don't know, pouring silver is it's tricky. I'm sure you have much more experience than I do in that department. It's really nice when it goes right, but it's super frustrating when you just got to do it over and over. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. If you're enjoying the live, tap the screen a couple times, hit the follow button. If you're in the market for a 3D printer, you can buy one down here. Yup, you sure can. Yeah, investment casting, you gotta have like a vacuum setup thing, don't you? You gotta have all the sprues, and I think that's right. I don't know, my biggest issue with like melting and pouring silver is I run out of fuel so fast. And map gas isn't the cheapest thing. So like I'll pour until I run out of fuel, and then I'm like, I don't want to buy anymore. Spend over $5K on equipment. The temperatures of everything is so touchy. Oh yeah. His fast. So this full print was estimated at 5 hours. At about 2.5 hours in, I increased the print speed. That cut about a half an hour off of it. So it altogether, it's going to take about 4.5 hours. The Kobra 3 uses the Anycubic slicer. It's just free to download from Anycubic's website. Pretty straightforward. It's based on Orca, if you've ever used that. Might be dumb, but I slightly tightened my belts mid-print. That may mess up the orientation of the print, but it might also fix the Z-banding, so we'll check on it in a couple layers and see if it did anything. I'll check that out. Yeah, just try the Anycubic slicer. You may also want to put a little bit of glue stick on your print bed if you're having prints get knocked off. This stuff is pretty effective. A really thin layer of this, it's That's what I've got on the bamboo over here, and it's just really solid bed adhesion. What I've got on the bamboo over here, and it's just really solid bed adhesion.